Today on Crafty Brewers.
We brought some of our beers there, including the Pistachio Baklava White Stout. No one still created one. We were the first ones to do it.
But this, for the smell, I put my nose in, it punches you in the face.
It's a face punch.
It's like a boom.
Are you using like actual rose petals?
Uh-huh.
Is it rose?
Yeah.
So actual roses.
Yeah, it's like 12 pounds of rose petals.
Rose petals.
Yeah. Well, here at Black Lung, we like love,
Yeah.
So we're like, what could we do
I
to
got
help
the vibe
people
out there.
find love?
Yeah. So far, we've had stories we've never heard before.
Yeah.
You are the first haunted brewery.
We could talk about hauntings in Black Lung Brewing because it's a real thing.
Oh, well, why wait? Welcome to the award-winning Crafty Brewers Tales Behind Craft Beer, the podcast that will increase your enjoyment of craft beer and your appreciation for the people who brew it. We have traveled to Grayslake, Illinois to go from grain to glass with Josh Grubbs. He's president and brewer at Black Lung Brewing Company, and we are in their brand new brew house, brew pub, brewery. We'll talk all about that in a second. But in case you don't know, I'm beer drinker and Hellraiser Brian Noonan. All my opinions are strictly my own, and that's by law. Behind the camera is our executive producer, Cody Goff. Cody, what are you excited about for this episode?
What's a white stout brewed with roses? That's new. Did you understand most of those words? If not, we'll put them all together for you. You also learn about a great hops experiment. But if that sounds too nerdy or sciencey, don't worry, we'll break it down for you. Also, this brewery invented a beer style that is adjacent to a beer that a lot of brewers won't even brew, but they made it more accessible. And I am very excited about these sweet potato fries with a handmade barbecue sauce that is delicious, by the way, in addition to the smash burger I just had. So, good brews, good foods.
Wow, that should be your new slogan.
We're taking that one.
Josh Grubbs is here. We are at Black Lung Brewing Company. This location, the third location for Black Lung Brewing, and the one that is we're going to talk about. I keep telling you we're going to talk about it because we are. The brand new location is at 2 South Lake Street in Grayslake, Illinois. BlackLungBrewing.com is the website. Elegant, sophisticated craft beer, tradition brewed, enthusiasm poured, and it's poured right here in this mug. The original tap room for Black Lung Brewing opened in Round Lake Beach in 2021. Josh Grubbs, thank you for being here. We're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be on.
So a lot of things, but let's start with, since this location just opened, if people can't see behind us, it is already haunted by a grain zombie. There's the tanks are still in the process of being hooked up.
We're still hooking things up.
Tell us the story of this building and what brought Black Lung here.
This building was renovated back in around 2017, 2018. It was occupied by Light the Lamp Brewing for some time. They closed up in a couple of years ago, maybe 2023, and the building was actually like a breakfast place for a little while. And
really,
and they shut it down pretty quickly, and I heard that it was opened up, and in that period of time, Black Lung had opened up in Fox Lake, so we were really kind of up to our eyeballs at build-outs and work being done, things like that, and still trying to brew. So this last time when it opened up and I saw that it was available, I reached out to the owner and just let him know that we were interested, and things kind of rolled from there and worked out. I'm from this town, so like.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say this is kind of a homecoming for you, even though the other two locations are close to Grayslake. Yeah. This is, did that make it had to make it even more special for you to be able to come back?
Yeah, it's special for a couple of reasons. One, it's a 10-minute walk from my house.
That's nice.
Two, this was a vacant building, and it was going to be vacant, or it was going to be maybe something, if we didn't take it over, maybe it wasn't going to be a brewery anymore. And I just really felt like that would be a shame because a lot of time and money was spent here to make this a brewery. It's a beautiful space to come in, have a craft beer and eat some craft food. And for it to be anything else would be a shame, I think.
It's really pretty in the tap room with a lot of exposed wood and that vibe. But walk us through. We've never been in a brewery that is in the process of being assembled.
Yeah.
And you were pointing some things out behind us.
Yeah.
You know, the tanks are not ready. What does it take, even though this was a brewery, how monumental is the task of where are you bringing the old equipment from?
Yep.
And what's it like to have to rebuild and open a brand new brew house?
No, it's still a lot. So the nice thing is we didn't have to put drains in, and we didn't have to put glycol lines in. They were here.
Okay.
The main lines. That's the lines that carry the coolant basically.
Okay.
If it were a car, it'd be the radiator.
Oh.
Like the radiator lines. So essentially, we just had to get our tanks here, and there's a control system that controls valves and things like that for the coolant. We'll say coolant, the glycol to run through your tanks. Your tanks have a jacket on them, and there's copper lines ran inside of there, and that's how we can cool the beer down when it's time to cold crash and to keep it at temperature during fermentation and things like that. That's really one of the bigger differences between homebrew and professional brewing is just 100% temperature control. And we're in the process right now of hooking all of our tanks up to our glycol system and getting that the controller system all hooked up and wired in so that it works as well. So we currently have one tank operational.
Okay.
So since we got one tank operational over the weekend, we brewed last night and we have one tank full of beer.
Very nice. Well, that's what I wanted to ask. So everything was coming, most of the beers were coming out of the original tap room in Round Lake Beach, right?
Correct.
So when you make the decision to open this new location, you're not buying all new tanks, right? You're gonna bring this stuff over. What's the prep like to say, okay, we have to brew X amount of beer to have on ready to open while we still have Round Lake Beach is still open.
Mm-hmm.
So walk us through the math.
Yeah, and Fox Lake was banging.
Fox Lake.
The boats were still in the water.
Right, exactly.
So it was a very hard timeline to create. So really what we determined was that we were just gonna have to brew as much as possible.
Okay.
And turn our tanks as fast as we ever have. And we actually acquired a bunch of kegs and filled up as much as we could. So then we had a really tight timeline, about a month to get all the beer out of the tanks at Round Lake Beach, get them down on the ground basically in a truck and brought over here, sat back up and hooked back up to glycol and control systems within a 4-week period so that we could be back up and running. And I think we did it in about a 3-week period. So
when
for that first tank.
When did this location open?
We opened here on on August 30th.
August 30th. And we'll go behind the scenes for a minute. We are November 4th is when we're recording this. So, you didn't have a lot of lean time to get everything going. How long is the process to be up and fully running here? And then does Round Lake Beach go away? Do you just brew the beer for that and keep Fox Lake? How does that work?
So as a class 3 in Illinois, we can brew our beer in one location and then share it between our 3 locations. So what we do is we brew it all at one spot and then we transport it to the other spots. So we were doing that at Round Lake, and we've been doing that since we moved here. But the space there is limited. The storage space is limited. The brewery was very small. So the idea of moving all the equipment here was really just so that we can continue to expand.
Okay.
And, we can take our 5-barrel tanks and turn them into 10-barrel tanks. We could take our 10s and turn them into 20s.
Okay.
And eventually, as we kind of grow. So that was the idea, and have the room to do it where we really didn't at Round Lake.
Okay.
Round Lake had some definite struggles there with the amount of people we could fit in the tap room and trying to keep it busy. So our lease is up in June. So we really just had a decision to make. Do we keep pushing forward here in a place where we can't really expand and it's kind of small for our patronage, or do we jump at this opportunity to grab Grayslake, which has a 4 times bigger tap room and at least that that much larger brew space where
Right.
we can start expanding and doing some other stuff too. So maybe get our own canning line one day. So we wouldn't have been able to do that in Round Lake.
Very nice. All right, let's congratulations, first of all, on the new
Thank you.
space. It's a lot of fun. You got the big kitchen, which Cody has already alluded to with the smash burger. I came and had Tuesday night the smash burger special as I tried out the flights.
Yep.
We'll talk about all that, but we love stories of the origin here on the show. And
Okay.
you talk about on your website, Black Lung Brewing, being grounded in not just family, but in your beer and your story.
Stories.
Tell us the story of your grandfather and how his legacy kind of contributes to what's going on here, because I found it fascinating.
Yeah, Grandpa Bill was a fascinating guy. He grew up in Kentucky, RJ, Kentucky, and was in World War II. Was in Germany. Never really told us what he did there. I think he pretty much probably lied to us about what he did there. That's my opinion. I can't prove it. But he came back from World War II, and he grew up with a large family, 3 brothers, 4 sisters, and their dad was a preacher and was pretty adamant that they weren't allowed to work in the coal mines.
Okay.
And in Kentucky, in that time, that was really the only work.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to eat and have anything, you had to work in the coal mines, and it was a great job. I mean, a lot of great people worked in the coal mines, and Grandpa subsequently went to work in the coal mines against his dad's wishes. And there's a story that I grew up hearing where, he did that against his dad's will, and I think he felt like bad that he did. And then he's in a coal mine that he hears a crack above his head, and he throws his shovel and runs out of the cavern, and the whole area caved in.
Oh, man.
And he went back in to check it out, and his foreman handed him a new shovel and said, "Get back to work, Willie." And he said, "No, that's enough for me." Daddy was right.
Smart
Yeah.
decision.
So 2 of his sisters, obviously this is after World War II, so they had already moved up to Waukegan, Zion area. They worked at the chocolate candy store over in Zion, and they were visiting their mom and dad back in RJ, Kentucky, and Grandpa told them what happened, and they said, "Well, Willie, why don't you," and he went by Bill, but they would call him Will.
They call Willie.
Why don't you come with us back up to Chicago? They got factories up there, and they got safety, and you can get a job and
The
not have to
crown
worry
doesn't
about this
swallow
stuff.
you whole.
Yeah, exactly. So he moved to Illinois and North Chicago and built his first house. Met my grandmother shortly after at the Genesee Theater in Waukegan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was from Chapmanville, West Virginia. So just over the river from Grandpa.
There you go.
But they met up here, and that story kind of resonates through my family, and it's like the reason I'm here and alive today, right? So
yeah, sure.
I'm not here if they don't meet at the Genesee Theater in that time. I mean, we all got stories like that.
Right. And if your grandpa is further down the shaft,
Yeah.
the
Then
cave
it's the
has
same problem.
Yeah, awful.
I'm not here. So that story, I told it to my wife when we were dating, and we've been married 18 years now, but when we were thinking about the name for the brewery, it's kind of tough because there's some people that are like, it should just be like simple. It should just be, something to do with beer or brewing, or the name of your street, Lake Street Brewing, or just something. I really felt like it should resonate a little bit. It should mean something to me. I'm putting my time and my life into it. And my wife was, we were debating names for a while.
Yeah.
And my wife was, just, cleaning the house one day or something when I was at work, and she just frantically was texting and calling me, "You got to hear this song, And I amazingly hadn't heard the song. I'm a big fan of Joe Bonamassa. I'm a big blues and guitar guy, and I hadn't heard the song. It's amazing, but I turned it on. It's called Black Lung Heartache, and in the song, you just kind of dig into the lyrics a little bit. It's about a guy that's a miner, and he's kind of saying, if I don't go in there and work, who's gonna pay for this family?
Yeah.
And that he had basically one of 2 choices he could make because he was stuck. And I just thought about Grandpa's choice and his what he was faced with back then. And fortunately for him, unlike a lot of people, he had a third choice where he could move to Chicago and had some support up here. But I thought that told our story. It at least started our story.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Now, that's not the only familial connection in the brewing business.
No.
Which is amazing. So your cousin Dan.
Yeah, cousin Dan.
Who you said kind of turned you into a brewer, or kind of
inspired.
Yeah, that's the better.
Yeah.
That's the better way. So, who's cousin Dan? How did he influence you?
Yeah, Danny raised my little cousin. We grew up in like Waukegan, Gurnee area together. Seeing each other at Christmas and stuff, and all of a sudden I'm out here drinking at Light the Lamp one day, and he pops out of the back room. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the brewer here." I'm like, what? You work here?
What? Huh? How's that
So
work?
that's many years ago, but he was their brewer for a long, long time.
Wow.
Almost their entire time they existed. I think like 10 years or more. And did a lot with that company. They grew from a small space next door to this very large building, and he won GABF awards with them, and
holy cow,
they did a lot of great stuff. And then he went on to Brothership, and now he's at Solemn Oath, and
nice.
He's still winning awards and still doing great stuff. But I told him back at the old Light the Lamp, I said, you know what, man, I've traveled this country. I've been to a lot of breweries. I love being in them. I just love being a part of them. And at that time I had helped out at a couple of breweries, like volunteering, ZümBier and stuff like that. And I was just going to open a brewery. I just really want to brew beer and own a brewery. And he's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
And then
don't quit your day job.
But which you still have it, which we'll get to, because it's the most,
Yeah.
I don't see the correlation between your day job and the brewing. But let's stay with the family thing for a minute. So you start brewing at home, you're like a lot of people, you're brewing in your garage, and another family member tells you, yeah, I drink this, and that keeps you moving forward.
Yeah.
Your great uncle?
Yeah. How'd you get that story?
I do my research,
Wow.
Cody. Come on
I
now.
don't think I told that to
That's
anybody.
a deep cut.
Brian's the Nardwar
Yeah.
of Illinois craft beer interviews.
A narwhal?
You
A
didn't know,
narwhal?
You didn't know Nardwar?
I know I don't have a horn on my head.
Look it up, Nardwar. I'll
Yeah.
put it in that episode description.
Please, yes,
Yeah.
please. I'd like to know what a narwhal
He's an
is.
interviewer that asks such specific questions. He goes so deep that like he kind of freaks some people out. Actually, you're not terrified, are you?
No. Not
Okay,
at all.
so he's not. You're not on Nardwar
Listen,
level.
I want our guests to know that I take the interview seriously, that I do the research, and I want to get their story.
I actually
This is
sent
why
Josh
we're here.
4 emails before this, one a day, saying, just tell Brian he does a lot of research. He'll really appreciate
Oh,
that.
stop it. His honest reaction to that question proves my point. So, Cody. All right, Josh, back to your
Boom.
great uncle.
Yeah, that's funny. So my great uncle Kurt,
Shout out Kurt.
Uncle Curtis, God rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but he was an amazing man. He traveled a lot and he did a lot in his life. Raised some great kids, who are my mom's age. They're my great cousins or whatever we call that. Second, third cousins.
Yeah.
But Uncle Kurt was West Virginia boy and just as straight shooter as they come. I'm named after him, Joshua Curtis.
Oh,
That's it.
nice.
So he was at one of our family gatherings that his son typically puts on, where he brings his pig roaster and cooks a whole pig in front of everybody and makes you kiss the snout before you get to eat. And not really.
That's what I do when Cody
shows
comes to
accent.
my house. So you got to kiss the snout if you want to eat.
He does encourage it though. So we're at a Van Patten Woods. I remember it well, and I brought some of my first beer that I brewed. It was
What kind was it?
It was Irish dry stout for St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was
Very nice.
very on brand, right? I'm still very much the same. I like to brew for the season still, even today. And I brought some bottles that we had done, and I just wanted some family members to try my beer. I thought I didn't hate it, and
There you go.
and
That's a ringing endorsement. I didn't hate it.
Uncle Kurt tried it, and he like, this is a straight shooter guy as it gets, man. If it wasn't good, he would have let me know.
He would have told you.
Yeah, and he's like, that's pretty good. I'd drink that beer. You should brew another one.
Wow.
And then I did.
you started brewing, thanks to Uncle Kurt and cousin Dan and everybody else. But then you got another break from a beer festival that kind of you seemed. Do you ever look back and go, boy, the stars were all lining up. Things kept happening. What happened with the beer fest that took you another step closer to Black Lung?
I don't know if we're thinking about the same one. Is it Lake County Beer Festival? Is that the one you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was there, and I had a buddy helping me, James, who ended up working for us for a little while. He, we brought some of our beers there, including the Pistachio Baklava White Stout. And we had a no one still created one. We were the first ones to do it. And we did that with Beer Bazaar right next door here is my buddy, Natter. He had the idea to do a baklava, white stout. And I thought it was a great idea. So we dove in and did it. And we had a line like 30 people deep for the entire festival that wanted to try that beer. And now it's a staple. We do it every Valentine's Day, and it's still people line up for it. Yeah.
That sounds good. All right. We got to mark our calendar for February.
What's a white stout?
So it's not hard to explain. It's just, as a brewer, you kind of grind your teeth thinking about it, but basically you do like a bold malty, we'll call it blonde ale. Okay. And to get those like chocolatey coffee notes that you would get from, say, caramel malts or chocolate malts, you add extracts, and you can get those flavors from extracts.
So instead of being dark, it'll be
a light beer and kind of tastes like a stout. Okay. Well, instead of chocolate and coffee, we went in with roses and honey and pistachios, and those were our nutty flavors and our adjunct flavors for this beer. And it was a flowery pistachio glass of amazement. I mean, it was a really fantastic beer. Actually, for the second segment, I think I have a bottle of it I'll bring out for us to try. Yeah.
Is that like you mentioned earlier that you brew for the seasons?
Yeah.
Is that a late winter, early spring kind of beer for you?
Well, for us, it's become a Valentine's Day beer.
Very nice. All right.
Yeah, because of the whole roses riff, I'm sure.
That sounds
Are they heavier? Like
it is heavier, yeah.
Imperial.
Yeah, it's like 10%, 11%. Yeah, it's like a big. If it were an actual stout, you would call it an imperial stout. So it's like an imperial blonde ale. That's what I would call it, at least. I mean, if I were to name it, that's what I would call it. But somebody before me called it a blonde stout or a white stout.
Well, listen, you're the boss. You can call it whatever you want, can't you?
You know, there was one Capital Brewing in Madison made one called Casper. Okay. That I had. It's a great style. I mean, it's really tasty.
I've heard the term. I just didn't know about
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Well, Casper the Ghost.
White stout. So you get the whole thing.
That part I got. I'd heard the term white stout, not Casper.
Casper's a friendly ghost, Brian.
So you two have been collaborating. I see. All right. That's fine.
Hey, be nice to him, or the myth is the grain zombie.
That Casper is the ghost of Richie Rich.
Oh.
Who was another comic book character. There's urban legend that Casper came after Richie Rich, and Richie Rich somehow died and became Casper. Because Richie Rich was very friendly, despite being very rich.
We're getting in. We're going in the Wayback Machine here.
Throw down with me. I'm the guy who knew about Uncle Bill. So, or Uncle Kurt and Grandpa Bill.
Uncle Kurt,
Can we do a collab with you and call it like Dead Richie Rich?
Richie's dead.
Richie's dead.
So you're better at the branding, clearly, than I am.
All right, before we're going to take our break soon, but I want to ask you this.
So wait, so Richie died.
So Richie dies and comes back as Casper the Friendly Ghost.
So he died, but he's like dead now, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to change my name too.
Well, yeah, because people then he comes.
Because when you die, you change your name.
No, but when you die, people don't recognize you. Like if I came back as a ghost, I'm not going to look like this. I'm going to be a weird specter that's just floating in your house. I'm going to be like that shadow in the corner that you can't quite identify. Okay. Well, Casper, even though he kind of took on a physical being, which I still don't get. People just saw him and for some reason he was Casper.
He didn't want to associate with his former richness.
Listen, his past life, Josh, may or may not have had some labor disputes.
Yeah.
May or may not have had some issues with class warfare.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's still going on today.
I don't know the exact cause of Richie Rich's death.
Yeah.
I don't know if he met an untimely end.
Poor little
well,
guy.
he did because he was a child, so
was
it
a
was
kid.
an untimely end. But a violent end, or if it was accidental, if he drowned in a pool of gold coins. There's a lot of questions about Richie's demise and his transformation to Casper. There's a lot going on here.
I'm gonna haunt this brewery until you brew a beer named
Well, we
after
could talk about
already got a grain zone.
we could talk about hauntings in Black Lung Brewing because that's a real thing.
All right, well, why wait? So I told you, we're here on November 4th. You'll see this later. We just passed Halloween.
Yeah.
Still,
yeah. We didn't play it up much this year because we were kind of busy doing some things. But
wanted people to come in.
Black Lung has been haunted since our inception. We opened in Round Lake Beach in 2021, and we'd be we had already been brewing at ZümBier. That's where we really started out in Waukegan, and we were just doing distro. Well, we started brewing on all of our own equipment. With our bigger tanks, all that stuff in Round Lake Beach. And as soon as we parked the Black Lung truck, we call it Sylvie. It's a Silverado.
Okay.
Over there, it was like weird things started happening. Like, the flywheels on our tri-clamps would pop off, and yeast that was sitting on a shelf would randomly fall and be on the other side of the room. And just weird things captured on video surveillance cameras that didn't make sense. And
like what?
Just like specters.
Specters.
Yeah, like weird lights traveling in them. So like odd things like that. And my buddy James, who brewed for us for a little while, he just had a theory that that Sylvie was haunted. And ever since I parked it over there, like all that weird stuff started happening, because none of that stuff happened at ZümBier. And we just couldn't figure out this.
Sylvie's, the evil in Sylvie transferred into the new location.
It's not evil.
Okay.
Sylvie is haunted by my father-in-law, my wife's dad.
Okay.
That was his truck.
A benevolent spirit.
Yes. We inherited this truck from Dave when he passed.
Okay.
And we didn't have a use for it.
Right.
And we actually inherited a couple of cars from Dave.
Okay.
We didn't have use for any of them. So we're like, all right, well, let's just, sell it, and, we'll put the money in the bank or whatever. And I'm kind of a truck guy. I've always had a truck, and my grandfather drove trucks. I've been in trucks since I was a little kid. And,
Okay.
and it kind of meant, my grandfather's trucks meant something to me. It was
Sure.
like a big deal, and we had Dave's truck, and when we sold it, and like a couple of weeks went by, I just felt really bad about it. It's like, why did we sell that truck?
Yeah.
It was paid for. It could have just sat in the driveway. Kids could have had it. And I just told Sarah, like, at some point, I was like, if your friend that we sold your dad's truck to wants to sell it or get rid of it ever, let her know that we'll buy it back from her. So funny story. I'm up the next morning and just like look at my phone, and I get an alert from Facebook that they put it on Facebook Marketplace. And I just called her right away. I said, hey, we'll buy it back. Okay. And we bought it back. And, her friend's husband does body work and works on cars and stuff. I said, keep it. I'm going to pay you. We're going to paint it. We're going to update all the stuff on it, make sure brakes are good and everything's good. And then when I'm ready, when I need it, we're going to use it for the brewery truck. So we painted it, and we put all the stuff together. We branded it, and as soon as we parked it over there, all this weird stuff started happening.
Whoa.
And James was convinced that it was Sarah's dad messing with us, and nothing bad, nothing painful, but just like little mischief. Little mischief. Yeah. Like, the stories you used to hear about Walter Payton as a prankster, it's like this stuff isn't normal. Why would this happen? But it's funny to this guy who's got a sadistic sense of humor, but it's kind of a pain in the butt for us.
All right, listen, we've got so many things that we could talk about, but Cody is on me about the clock. Before we go to break, you mentioned you started with Zoom Brewing.
I did. ZümBier.
ZümBier.
To the beer. Yeah.
Was that Larry Bloom?
That is Larry
Bloom.
So
Larry Bloom was a guy you met, and you made an arrangement with him. Tell us, who's Larry, and what was the arrangement before we take our break?
So Larry is the owner of ZümBier, and he is a close friend of mine.
Okay.
No, but back then I had, met him by going into ZümBier and being a huge fan and really just falling in love with some of his beers like Lauren and Super Chung and some of his other fantastic beers that he would brew. And, once I had kind of decided, hey, I want to start my own brewery, I said that to Dan and kind of laughed at me. And I said it to Larry, and over a little bit of time, Larry kind of said, maybe there's room for you here. We'll just put you in the spot over there, and you can be an alternating proprietorship and brew beer here, and then you don't got to have a staff and all that stuff. And he's like, then you don't got to quit your day job.
There you go.
So that was kind of the theory, is that could kind of slowly ease my way into being a professional brewer.
And you have become a professional brewer. This is Josh Grubbs. He's the president and brewer here at Black Lung Brewing Company. We are at their brand new location at 2 South Lake Street in Grayslake, Illinois. blacklungbrewing.com is their website. Go there. We're going to take our break. When we come back, Josh is going to do the brewer showcase. We're going to talk about a beer. Maybe if there's a bottle of the white stout, we'll try some of that. It'd be fantastic. We've got a lot more to go. Stick around. It's Crafty Brewers, tales behind craft beer. We are at Black Lung Brewing at their newest location in Grayslake, Illinois, at 2 South Lake Street in Grayslake. Want to know everything about Black Lung Brewing? Except, you'll learn more here, but you can still go to blacklungbrewing.com. That's where all the information is. Josh Grubbs is our guest. He is the president. He is the brewer. He is the man behind Black Lung Brewing. But so far, we've had stories we've never heard before.
Yeah.
You are the first haunted brewery, which is very exciting. But we want to get this.
Good to be known for something.
Yes. Listen, no, you're known for your beers. And you mentioned before this white stout that got Cody all excited. Tell us the name. Tell us a little about it, and
Well, here at Black Lung, we like love,
Yeah.
So we're like, what can we do to help people find love?
Yeah.
No, we.
Well,
in all
seriousness, swerve has.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Black Lung, how you doing?
In all seriousness, we wanted to collab. I'm good friends with Natter from Beer Bazaar up here in Grayslake, and whenever it was a few years back, we decided that we wanted to brew a beer together, and Natter had the idea of doing a baklava-inspired white stout, and we worked on the recipe. And
baklava sounds like a great combination.
Yeah,
the honey.
It's got honey and nuts. Yeah, it's like a lot of great. It all works in beer. Yeah.
But you added, and you mentioned before, and I want to ask you about it again because roses.
Roses. Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm not trying to be funny. Are you using like actual rose petals? Is it so actual roses?
Yeah, it's like 12 pounds of rose petals.
Rose petals.
Yeah.
Is that your father-in-law?
Oh,
what is going on here?
This place is haunted.
It's fine. Something just fell over. You're moving in. There's things leaning on
Josh,
each other.
you didn't tell us that a florist was murdered in this exact building, and now anytime flowers are brought up, they react.
It's a funny story. I think this might have actually been a florist at one time.
I can't tell if you're kidding
I'm
or not.
freaking out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Josh is kidding. But listen, if it adds to the lore of Black Lung, let's go with it.
Yeah.
Since Brian doesn't have a sense of smell, I gotta say, I haven't tasted it yet, but this, for the smell, I put my nose in, it punches you in the face.
It's a face punch.
It's like a boom.
Yeah.
Well, you said this one was. This was very rosy.
So what we had was we had these low fill bottles left over, so that's what I brought out. But this is the first batch we ever did of this commercially.
What's it called?
It's called Pistachio Rose.
Okay.
Very on brand, right?
That makes sense.
Just so people know what to expect. And it is very heavy on the rose, because we actually do use all those real rose petals in our hop back, and we let the beer sit on it for a couple of days. But there's also rose water in there as well, so we get some more punch from the rose water. And then it sits on pistachios and roses for 24 hours, and then we use some extracts to kind of make it pop a little bit more too. And also the honey is in the boil, so the honey goes in right at the end of the boil. So
So people have bought roses. A lot of people have smelled roses.
Yeah.
Most of us have not eaten roses.
Yeah.
When you say, oh, this one has a lot of rose.
Yeah,
in it,
so
what does that
so the
bring?
rose really contributes a lot to the aroma.
Okay.
You shouldn't really be tasting rose. You're probably tasting more the grain bill, the pistachio, the honey.
Okay.
You'll get flavors of those, but the rose is really going to be more aromatic.
Okay, I get the pistachio, and I
Yeah.
definitely get some honey. It's not. When you say it, people will go, "Oh, is it really?" It's not
Yeah.
overly sweet.
No,
it's just
no.
there's that.
It's actually a fairly
that-
dry beer.
Yeah.
And it's
Is
a big beer. It's like 10%, so it's a
Oh.
good sized beer.
Very nice, Cody. Besides the aromatics, which you know I cannot speak to, what do you think?
I have to think about it more. I was Instagramming.
All right, can
Follow
you
us
focus
on
the
Instagram
show?
at Crafty Brewers. Hey, it's our Instagram page.
I know. Follow us on Instagram.
I produce a lot of things.
I know you do.
Not-
But usually you leave Instagram to Moab. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm still drinking. Don't worry. I get the rose.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a ton of rose.
I wouldn't have known what that was till you said it. And I
Yeah.
was like,
It's funny because some people who, like you said, wouldn't have known that that's what it was until I told you. People will say Tootsie Roll. And then when you think about a Tootsie Roll and then you smell and drink this beer, it kind of reminds you of a Tootsie Roll. It's kind of odd. But it is.
What's the commonality?
I couldn't tell you, except for that it smells like a Tootsie Roll to some people. Not to me. I know exactly what's in the beer, so I get exactly what's in the beer.
I don't
But-
get Tootsie Roll at all,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
So this comes out beginning, or
Yeah.
do you wait till Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it'll
Does it
be.
come out
We'll just say in February.
February.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And does it come in the fancy bottles?
It will come in fancy bottles and it'll be on draft.
On draft. All right. This is very nice. So guys, listen, you don't have to wait. You wake up on the 14th and you're like, oh, I forgot Valentine's Day. You don't have to run to Jewel and get a dozen roses.
Yeah.
You can come to Black Lung and pull your lady some
Some
roses.
roses. Yeah, exactly.
Because they're all about
brilliant.
love here at Black Lung.
We'll have them here, and I'm sure you'll be able to get them at Beer Bazaar as well.
Very nice. And a little honey and pistachio never hurt anybody.
That's right.
So let's talk about the beer and what you brewed. You said you started with a dry Irish stout when
I did.
you gave it to your great uncle. Now you're doing an experimental hop series.
Yeah.
Hopservation. What does that entail?
That Hopservation is you definitely explored the website because it's a little outdated, but we started a hops kind of cataloging hops with that beer brand, with Hopservation, and what it was a single malt bill recipe for a hazy IPA that I would completely just swap hops out and just try different hops and see how they played with that recipe and which ones I enjoyed more than others. Now, that did turn into some of our other beers that we do now. So beers that were Hopservation beers at different times became Unintended Movement. There were a few others, Resonatio, and some of our audio series. So some of those beers became more staple beers later on. It was kind of a fun way to have one brand, one name, and just do different hops and try different stuff.
So is it as simple as it would sound? A hop experimental hops is you just trying out all different hops to get whatever they bring to that particular beer.
It was just a way to try some different stuff, and I think we still see it now at other breweries where they have basically an experimental beer that they change hops on it. We still do it. We do it with our collab that we did with the Grayslake Sliders baseball team, Trampled by Sliders, and we've done Trampled by Citra, Trampled by Mosaic, Trampled by Simcoe most recently. So we'll do it with that beer now more so than with Hopservation.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I saw the artwork out above the bar.
Yeah, I think that's one of our staples.
Okay.
And it's a really great the style is great. So I really love the Sierra Nevadas of the world, like the old West Coast Pale Ale. And that's what Trampled is. And for us, it was just a way to still continue to be experimental, continue to have fun. Now we haven't jumped too far into the experimental realm with that one yet. We've done Citra, Mosaic, things that we do all the time. But we will play around with it some more.
Is there an exotic hop that you haven't used yet that you down the road you have your eye on, like, that sounds like an interesting ingredient?
Nothing comes to mind really that I'm too concerned about, but I mean, we did we did that maybe a couple years ago with Nectaron, and then we've used that in a couple of beers since, where we've utilized it for like a West Coast Pilsner and for another hazy IPA that we do. So I keep up with them, but they come out as fast as our beers do too. Yeah. So it's like a little hard to keep up with all of them. And
when all these new hops are coming out and you're trying to decide which ones to use, is it because they're new, you haven't been able to sample them in a lot of different beers? Is it more by smell and what you're told by the growers they'll bring? Or how do you make the decision to go, okay, we know Citra, we know Mosaic, we know this. Here's Bob's Crazy Hop.
Yeah.
I know what Bob's hop smells like, but do I know what it'll bring to a beer? How do you make that decision?
You don't always know. Okay. You know, sometimes the smart thing to do would be to do a pilot batch and have a pilot system and brew a nice small, 10 gallon batch.
Okay.
And kind of see what it does to the beer. But we don't have a pilot batch system. We just have our 5-barrel brew house, and we take a recipe generally that we believe in and we know is a good grain bill, and we'll swap out, that new hop, whatever it is, for maybe one of the more present hops in a certain beer, just to try it out and call it something different and see how it comes out. And we've done that quite a few times over the years, and that's how we've gotten into some of our kind of off our core brand beers. One I think of specifically that we have on right now is Intergalactic Space Juice, where we kind of went down that road with Nectaron.
Okay.
So we were doing Galaxy and Strata, Nectaron, and are doing is it Nectaron, actually?
Cody, Google the house.
I might have to Google my own beer. Yeah.
What did I put in that beer?
It might not be Nectaron. It might be something else. But anyway, it was another experimental hop.
Fun word to say.
It's a fun
burgundy.
It's a really fun hop too. We've done it with a few different ones, and we try to be experimental, but within reason, and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nectaron is a New Zealand developed hop variety.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
I'm just gonna say I think that my Pistachio Rose kicked in, and I'm feeling a little about it.
It's delicious. I gotta remember Valentine's Day. Come for some smoochies.
Right.
First time for everything.
It is. You're right.
Remembering Valentine's Day. I mean,
it is Nectaron. I was right.
It is. Nectaron is the one. All right. Very good. Obviously, we've talked about we're in the new location in Grayslake.
Yes.
But at the other locations, Round Lake and Fox Lake, you've had 14 beers on tap. You have, and that's what's going to be happening here. By the time people see this, you'll have your whole tap line set with,
will be built up
with your stuff.
Yeah.
With that much variety, what's the decision-making process for you about what styles? I know you said earlier that you like to brew for seasons, but then what else stays? Like, what's the core, and then how many taps do you give over to trying something new, and what makes you decide what those other beers will be?
Oh man, the age-old question.
The age-old question. I'm an age-old man.
Which ones are your core brand beers? This is something that I've got a couple partners now. Rob being another managing partner here, and we've had this conversation. It's like, yeah, we should have core beers that are just on all the time, and I'm just like, oh, we got such a small system. Like, how do we keep up? If people are drinking them all the time, then we're going to always be running out of them. So then we're going to always be brewing them, and then we're not going to get to be experimental and be small anymore. So it's a very tough decision. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, we're quite small. So what we've done is we've developed some brands that we consider our core brands, but we don't always have them on, and that's kind of what happens is that we do run out of them, but we do brew brew them quite a bit more than we brew our experimental stuff.
For example,
yeah.
which ones?
I'd say like you had it earlier, you're having it now, maybe Toxic Puddles.
Yes.
That's
Pistachio cream ale.
that's a pistachio cream ale that is very popular.
Okay.
And when we run out of it, people are always upset. But this is not like pistachio cream ale brewing, this is
Exactly. Okay.
we're gonna brew it.
Okay.
We're gonna brew it more. We do brew it more often for people. It is one of our core brands for sure, but at the same time, we don't just want to have that all the time.
Well, that's an interesting point that people, and myself included, if you go to all different size breweries,
right.
and I guess you're right, and not I guess, I know you're right. If you're a smaller brewery,
Yeah.
and you limit a few of your tanks to always making this,
The same beer.
yeah, how are you going to do something else?
Yeah.
So, people buy into that, right? Though people come in and yes,
I mean, I buy into it.
I guess you're
so like
the one.
as if we left it up to patrons, it would be, and God bless them, they know what they like.
Yes, of course.
I love the opinions. But the thing is they all like something different.
Sure. Also,
and we would just be brewing that one beer for them all the time, and it'll be great because it's a really good mover and all that stuff, but it also limits how much we can explore.
And it would get boring because brewers are creative.
They are.
People may not.
It is my art.
Yes,
That's what I get to do.
Art. And there's, I've always.
I'm not painting oil paintings anymore.
No, but your art is in the glass.
Yeah. So we want to stay artistic.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you want to keep going. And I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I live in Grayslake or Round Lake Beach or Fox Lake, and I'm coming into Black Lung, I know what to expect. I know there's going to be changes,
right,
and things are going to rotate in and out, and that's part of the fun of being a regular. Right?
That's what I think. I mean, I would say yes. Now we do keep Lung Light on pretty much all the time. Okay. And we do get some help contract brewing that from another brewery, but just
because that's an accessible beer for people who may not want to try something else, right?
I promise you, if that was if we tried to brew every batch of that goes out, that's pretty much all we'd brew all year. So that we sell a lot of that beer.
Yeah.
And it's really popular, and it's in distribution, and it's a really simple, approachable beer. But we want to brew, our coffee stouts and our American Amber and all of our array of hazy IPAs and West Coast IPAs that we do. So we would run out of tank space for those if we were just doing light lager.
Very nice. So for you, the beer drinker, if you're going into a smaller tap room, and last time I was at Black Lung, I had the pistachio cream ale, and I really liked it. Maybe you come back, it's not there, but there's going to be something similar or something different that you're going to like just as much. So part of the fun, as I said, is just experimenting. And there's me preaching a little, Cody. I don't preach a lot on this program.
Just give us a little grace. Yeah. Try something else, because we're always putting on something that's fun.
Or you can always get a Lung Light, which is fantastic and approachable, and then quit your crying and try something else.
We do have, like 4 different amber ales that we like to put on, including our Oktoberfest, which is a great style also. But we've got our American Amber, we've got an Irish Red that we like to put on. We got a hop
Fang, right? Is it the
Eagle Fang?
Eagle Fang.
Yeah.
Eagle Fang.
Yeah, that's
Cobra Kai.
Amber and Reds are great. And didn't you mention at the start that first one you homebrewed was
Dry Irish Stout?
Yep.
Oh, a Dry Irish Stout.
Yeah, that's a Dry Irish Stout. Yep.
What is the difference between an Irish Stout and a Dry Irish Stout?
A Dry Irish Stout is a dry beer that's got a little bit higher ABV.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a can, I guess. That one did have a little bit higher ABV.
Yeah. All right. We're talking about variety and you're trying different things and keeping your creativity and your art alive, which are all valid. Anybody who watches this or listens to this show knows that we ask every brewer the same 4 questions at the end. And one of them this is not the Final Four, Cody. Just relax.
Yeah, what?
No, hold on. I know where I'm going. I got things planned out.
I mean, you are supposed to be doing the Final Four now, but...
No, I've got a minute to do the Final Four. So that means in 10 minutes, I'll get to the Final Four.
15.
Relax. One of the beers... Oh, the stickers have arrived.
Hey, stickers.
One of the beers that most brewers, thank you, say they would never brew is a milkshake IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you cannot say that because you brewed and have brewed and will brew milkshake IPAs. Why do you think...
You're wrong.
What? Hold on. You didn't brew a milkshake IPA?
Well, kinda. We've never brewed a lactose beer.
All right. Well, now.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's explain. Let's set... I'm not ashamed to be wrong. I can be corrected. How can it be a milkshake IPA without a lactose?
So we call it a Maltshake IPA. So what we do is lactose is a non-fermentable sugar that a lot of people are highly allergic to.
Okay.
Including me.
Oh, all right.
So I don't work with it much, and it may have set us back over the years, but it's fine, because if I can't drink it, I'm probably not going to brew it. Yeah, I just kind of a stand that I took. So we brew with maltodextrin is another non-fermentable sugar. It's like sweet and low kind of deal, and we'll use some of that with some monk fruit and stuff like that, and add some sweetener to the beer, and also mash a really high temperature, so that you get more natural non-fermentable sugars out of the malt that you're brewing with.
Oh, that's what happens when you
if you mash at a really high temperature, like 160, 164, you'll get a lot of longer chain triglycerides that the yeast can't eat. They literally can't stomach it. So those will be left behind in your beer, and you'll have a sweeter beer. So that's kind of like our process for those malt shakes, where they are, the malt is really the key ingredient, but it's got also some maltodextrin in it, so it's kind of a play on words. But we coined it. I feel like we did.
I've never heard it before.
Yeah, so there you go.
A Maltshake IPA. Yeah. So is that something that is in the rotation that comes and goes, or is it?
Oh, we have a whole line. Yeah, it's Galaxy 503 is a Maltshake IPA. Mr. Willie, Sub for a Day is a Maltshake IPA. We've got a few other ones that we don't make quite as much as those two, but those two are like really popular with our people. So
now this may seem like an odd question, but you mentioned Sweet and Low.
Yeah.
Which is, people who
I might not be 100% right about Sweet and Low, but it's like one of those fake sweeteners.
A non-sugar sweetener. Yeah, so does that make it more diabetic?
No,
friendly?
not at all.
Not at all. Okay,
because
you're boiling it at such a high.
Yeah, you're still getting a lot of actual sugar in
okay.
it. Yeah,
I was like, wow, look at it.
It's just it makes it okay for people who are lactose
intolerant. All right, very good.
And they still kind of get the idea of a high body, quite sweet, extremely low bitterness, high hop aroma beer that's not gonna cause them to have stomach problems.
See? My research failed me once. My research has failed.
It's good to talk about because, there's a lot of those beers in the market, and they don't always tell you there's lactose in them, and people really do have problems with it. I really feel like a lot of brewers that I know that I'm friends with have gone to not necessarily my way of doing it, but this way of doing it.
Okay, where it's not lactose.
Where it's either low lactose or no lactose.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, why disenfranchise a good portion of your
some people really love those beers, man. I get it. Yeah, it's they taste great, they taste amazing and all that. Personally, I think for me they're too sweet, but also with the stomach problems and stuff, it's just not worth it.
Very good. Before we get to our final four, we're in the third location, the newest, Black Lung, moving along, everything's going. What's next?
Why do people always ask that? It's like, hey, I just put out a brand new beer, man. This beer is amazing. It's one of my favorite beers that we ever brewed. Oh yeah, that's great. What's next?
No. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be what's next, like next month. Yeah. But as you look, I guess we could go to the tried and true interview question.
Sure.
If you're going for a job. Where do you see Black Lung in 5 years, Josh?
That's a great question.
Is that a better question?
What's next for Black Lung? I would say we're going to survive the winter because that's what all the breweries are trying to do right now. We're ramping up for Christmas, and then we'll be here waiting for everybody in January. You know, so if you're hearing this in January, come on over and see us.
Yes, come over, get some Pistachio Rose.
That's right.
Try some of the other great beers. You don't know what's going to be here except for Lung Light. And I will say, whatever you get is going to be great. Right?
I wasn't done.
I wasn't done.
We're getting all of our gear set up right now, but by January we'll be into some of the new beers that we're going to be trying out for the new space here. So we're going to be back in experimental mode this winter, and we're gonna roll out some really fun stuff. And we're working to get more of our beer into distribution. So we're going to work with our partners in contract brewing and get some more of our heavy hitters out to people more regularly.
Very nice. Well, those are all lofty goals, and it seems with your track record, very attainable. So
I think so.
Congratulations. All right, it is time for the Final Four. As I mentioned, we ask every brewer that's a guest of ours on the program the same 4 questions to wrap up the big program. We'll start with the hill you'll die on.
Okay.
So we know it won't be the Maltshake IPA, but a style of beer that maybe it's really popular. Maybe you've tried it before, but you're just, no, I can't, this is not what I want to brew.
Oh man. I'm kind of as brewing goes, I'm kind of a person who's like, give the people what the people want.
Okay.
You know, as long as I get to continue to brew what I want.
There you go.
Periodically.
Strike that balance.
But I would say for me, just like with milkshakes and lactose beers, I would say Rausch beer probably is.
Really?
Even though it's historical style and all that.
Is it the smoke?
It's the smoke. It doesn't do it for me. All I get all the time with every Rausch beer I've ever had is Band-Aids, and I just can't do a Band-Aid drink.
That makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
See, and I've had some Rausch beers that I love, and some that it's like, oh, I'm drinking charcoal.
Yeah.
This is not quite the thing.
I think that I had one early on from Brenner Brewing in Milwaukee, and I think they called theirs Pig's Fly or something like that, just like everybody does.
Sure.
And I liked it at first, and then I got to the second one, and I was like, I'm done. I can't drink this anymore. And it was weird, like my brain turned in the second beer, and I have not been able to drink I haven't had one that I've enjoyed since.
All right, very good. All right, so no Rausch beer at Black Lung, even though it seems like it would go along with the name.
It does.
It does.
Maybe we'll have to lean into that a little bit. Like I said, I've got a partner and stuff, so we may end up doing one at some point, but it's just not my favorite.
I was going to say, if you won't drink it, why spend all the time brewing it? Do something else.
I agree.
All right, how about this? Question number 2, a beer that you brewed, and for whatever reason, it might have been really successful. You might have loved it, or it might have didn't turn out quite the way you wanted it, but for whatever reason, it was a one-off. You're not doing it again.
Oh, not doing it again. You know, I don't, man, that'd be a really hard one to say. I think, I've got an idea of that. Like I did this experimental barrel age with Brettanomyces Kentucky Common as a home brewer, and we used a little bit of mint leaf in it, and it was like this Kentucky Common mint julep sour beer, and it was amazing. And like a couple of people like thought it was just like the coolest thing they'd ever had. And all I can say is I don't know that I would do the mint again because I don't know. It kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. But it was an amazing beer, and I do have a 2.5 year age Kentucky Common and Brettanomyces in a barrel right now that I'm getting ready to bottle. So it's back. It's gonna be done, but I don't know if it will be the same beer. But we did try it. We did try it again, but no mint.
No mint. Well, mint seems to me like it would be almost like smoke. It can
be overwhelming.
Too much,
yeah,
you can get
you get into some bad space if you use too much. And I don't think we did use too much, but I also think like mint is something. If you want that, you could just add that. You could throw a mint leaf in that beer if you really wanted it that bad.
If you need mint like that.
Yeah.
Question number 3, your go-to off the clock beer. It could be one of your own beers. It could be somebody else's.
Good question. If I'm here at Black Lung right now, I'm having our Black Crow, which is our Kolsch. That's really what I live for, is nice light beer like that with a little bit of body. Or our Noon Porter, which I absolutely adore, that beer. And Left Fork, our Kentucky Common. There's a few of them. There's a few.
Okay.
No, not entirely. I do make my way down to Charlie's quite a bit at the end of the street here, and usually when I'm down there, I'll get a Yingling or something like that. So, and they've got some Revolution cans there, IPA that I'll grab too. Yeah.
Nice. And our final question: your favorite food and beer pairing?
Food and beer pairing. Oh, I heard this on one of your other podcasts, and I thought about it, and I really was struggling with it. But I think for me, I'm going to have to go with something we have here on menu. Our smash burger, our jalapeno, our habanero burger with the Kolsch. It's really amazing. Yeah.
That sounds good.
It's a really good.
I can back that up.
Cody will concur.
Yeah. I don't think I got the jalapeno, but the smash burger.
Yeah. You just got the smash, but yeah.
I had a smash burger. Tuesdays, come in on Tuesdays if you want a smash burger. $6 for the smash burger. $15 you get a smash burger. You get a full pour of Lung Light and a shot of Malort. It's unbelievable. I was sitting at the bar. Nobody knew who I was. I just came in and kept my coat on. Had a smash burger. Had a flight. The burgers are fantastic. Everybody at the bar was ordering burgers. Everybody at the table was eating burgers. And
every day but Tuesday, you can get the Southwest Midwest burger. That's the one with the habaneros, and man, it is absolute fire.
So get to Grayslake.
I can say that because I don't actually make the burgers myself.
That's right. We met the chef. You've got the full kitchen, everything in the new location here in Grayslake. blacklungbrewing.com. And Josh, thanks again.
Thank you.
So before we get to our final toast, I want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Crafty Brewers Tales Behind Craft Beer. Please be sure to support your local brewery. We can't say that enough because it's tough times for some of your favorite breweries, and trust me, you're going to miss them if they're gone. So make sure you go out, make sure you buy some beer, tip the staff, support your local breweries. These guys and ladies are working hard to create some great things for you to do. They're creating great community, so make sure you support your local brewery. Crafty Brewers Tales Behind Craft Beer is produced by our award-winning podcast producer, Cody Goff. Cody, shout out to you for being so fantastic. I appreciate you, Cody. I don't usually say that.
He's
on
a pro.
Episodes. You are a pro.
He's a pro.
And I do appreciate you. And let's leave it at that. So you can visit our website to browse our archive of more than 50 episodes. You can get in touch with us, or you can grab something from our brand new merch line. Check that out. Sweet. Makes a great gift if you go to craftybrewerspod.com. We release a new episode of Crafty Brewers every other Thursday on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other podcast apps. Do you want to support the show? It's easy. Just leave a comment on our YouTube video. Any comment will do. Mostly, hey, haunted breweries? That's kind of freaky. Yes, it is. Hey, is that new merch Brian's wearing? Yes, it is. You could leave that comment. Hey, is Cody as arrogant as he seems? No, he's much more arrogant. Any comment will do.
True.
But leave one.
What's a white stout?
What is a white stout?
We've had many great comments. Shout out to Jenny, one of our top commenters. Comments on almost all our episodes that I can see. Maybe all of them. I don't know. But thank you, Jenny, for that.
Thank you, Jenny.
Couple Jim of some other stuff. John. I'm really I don't want to give away the full usernames, but you know who you are.
Sure, you know who you are.
And Mr. Plow King, which is just a great.
That's a great reference.
Is it? What's the? It's a Simpsons image.
It's a Simpsons. It's a Simpsons. He was Mr. Plow. Yeah, he's Plow King.
Mr. Plow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's only like 75,000 episodes for me to remember.
Yeah, Mr. Plow. Yeah.
All you need to know is the Mr. Plow episode.
Yeah.
Or Duffman.
It's a classic.
So thank you for being here. Thanks again to Josh Grubbs. He is the president and brewer at Black Lung Brewing Company. We really appreciate you being here. It was a lot of fun. Congrats
Appreciate you
on
guys.
the new space.
Thank you. Don't look too hard. We're still cleaning up here.
No, it's in progress, but they're open. You can have some.
Before we started filming, I remember Josh was like, the tanks need to be cleaned up and stuff like that. Like,
We just got them
they just
put
got
in
'em.
position.
I love this is the industrial area. It's not, I don't think it's supposed to be clean.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be clean. Clean gear, clean beer, man.
Right.
That's what we say.
As far as the
Yeah.
state is concerned, we want it clean, but you're in.
Everything's clean. Yeah.
You're building out.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So,
Well, we are just in moving mode right now.
That's
and
right.
Slowly getting back into brewing mode.
and imagine when you move your house, what kind of disarray it's in. Now imagine moving an entire brew house.
Yeah.
Little bit of disarray is to be expected. I'm Brian Noonan. That brings us to our final toast. What are we toasting today, Josh?
New adventures.
New adventures. Cody the G.
Really good smash burgers and sweet potato fries.
Oh
I
man,
like that too.
It's great stuff.
And I like great beer, new locations, and continued success
we like to tap it down here at Black Lung. That's for the bartender.
for the bartender. Cheers.
Prost.
Slancha.
Decoupage.
Decoupage. You are so weird.